Monterrey is not known for its namesake cheese. Monterrey Jack comes from California. But it is known for being one of Mexico's most prosperous cities, which is even gooder. So let's check out the stadiums and arenas of Monterrey, Mexico. We start off at Estadio Universitario, which is where the Mexican wave started off back in the 1986 World Cup. Well, actually it did predate that event, and the actual origin is disputed. However, this is where it gained worldwide fame. The stadium's nicknamed the Volcano, presumably due to its eruptive atmosphere, but also the stone facade that wraps its way around some of the exterior adds to its volcano cred. However, I feel like this stadium elsewhere in Mexico sort of stole its thunder. Or indeed its lava. Speaking of the crowd, this stadium was once damaged by the stomping of spectators. Only it wasn't during a football match, but a Queen concert. We Will Rock You was the suspected culprit. Nowadays, all respectable stadium architects make sure to Queen-proof their designs before signing off on them. As the name Estadio Universitario suggests, it's situated on the campus of a university, and that university also has a football team of the American variety. They play at the nearby Estadio Gaspar Mas, which is one of the largest gridiron-specific stadiums outside the US and Canada. To be clear, whilst the UANL football team is professional, competing in Mexico's top tier, the UANL American football team is an amateur college team competing against other universities. They do occasionally play at Estadio Universitario, but their own purpose-built stadium is not too bad either. About 90% of the capacity is coming from uncovered bench seating. However, there is one small section for the privileged few that not only has a roof but bucket seating as well. This opened a couple of years before that Queen concert, so I'm not sure whether it's Queen-proof or not. Gimnasio Nuevo León Independente is the colourful home of Fuerza Regia, the city's biggest basketball club. It wasn't built specifically for them, however, as you can see, they've certainly made themselves at home. It is pretty small and fairly basic in here. Most of the seating is of the retractable variety. Although these people are looking pretty comfortable in their padded armchairs, I think that compensates for the fact that they will be the ones that are completely obliterated by a 7-foot tall muscular man trying to keep the ball in play. Estadio Mobile Super is Mexico's largest baseball stadium. It was renovated in 2018, and now I'd say that in terms of its size and amenities, it's basically partway between a typical major league and minor league ballpark in the US. In the outfield there are a couple of big video boards and even more billboards, but no unique features that you usually see at MLB venues. Due to their lopsided proportions, ballparks are known for their expansive views that they offer spectators. Well, this ballpark is no exception. In fact, it was clearly orientated with a view in mind, because it is perfectly aligned with Cerro de la Silla, the city's most famous mountain. To be honest, that mountain is so prominent that it would have looked kinda weird if it were slightly off-center. It is normally another aspect of Mother Nature that determines the alignment of ballparks, that being the sun. Either way, on a clear day, it makes for a great backdrop. Arena Monterrey is comfortably the largest indoor sports venue in the city, and one of the biggest in Mexico. If you like glass, you'll be pleased, because the exterior is comprised of all of the glass that there is in existence. They started building it in 1994, but it wasn't opened until 2003, owing to an economic crisis that occurred shortly after they broke ground. Which is understandable. The world's entire supply of glass is not cheap. That doesn't seem to have affected the quality of the venue though. This one wouldn't look out of place in the NBA. Well, the playing surface certainly would. It's home to an indoor football team called Monterrey Flash. I don't think they are the reason for the venue's large capacity though. That'd be concerts, of which it's hosted many. We've mentioned Monterrey Jack and now Monterrey Flash. This video has been a gas. As I mentioned earlier, Monterrey has hosted games at the FIFA World Cup in the past, and it will again in 2026. However, it'll be Estadio BBVA that hosts them this time. Much like Arena Monterrey, the exterior is dominated by one material. Rather than glass though, it is aluminium sheeting. Looks great. The same goes for the seating itself, which is a busy mosaic of blue and white, CF Monterrey colours. And wouldn't you know it, but Cerro de la Silla makes another appearance. The stadium was actually designed with a tilting roof to maximise the view of it. So Cerro de la Silla has got to be one of the only mountains in the world that has influenced the orientation and design of two significant stadiums that are miles away from the mountain. That's not the only thing that might draw your eyes away from the field itself. There is also a sizable video board in each corner, so this place has got it all really. You do have to wonder why it was overlooked for the 1986 World Cup. Oh wait, yeah. Arena Borgos doesn't quite meet the arbitrary capacity cutoff, but it's an interesting building that acts as the part-time home of Monterrey Flash, so it's certainly worth at least mentioning. And so that is what I'm doing right now as I speak, and I'm still speaking, end of sentences now. Also, you may have noticed that there is a stadium next door. Let's go back outside. This stadium, known as Estadio Tecnologica, was the previous home of CF Monterrey, and was actually demolished in 2017 to make way for a housing complex as well as a small American football stadium. One called Stdio Bonor. Yep, Monterrey, Mexico has a more impressive array of American football stadiums than some large US cities, although it is still Mexico, so they were sure to make the field wide enough to accommodate the other type of football if need be. The stadium is alternatively known as La Casa de los Borregos, the House of the Sheep, because it is home to Borregos Salvajes, who shared the old stadium with CF Monterrey. It is a lovely venue. In some areas it's a sleek modern steel and glass construction, however it's the more low-key features that I appreciate the most. I especially like how the southern end sort of just transitions into a garden, and then into what they call Plaza Deportistas, Sportsman Square or Athlete Square. And those were the Stadiums of Monterrey. Thanks for watching, have a good one.